Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to talk about resume writing. There are many formats of resume available online, but have you ever thought how you should draft your resumes? What kind of language has to be used? How about the spacing, grammar, punctuation and the other aspects? So we will be talking about all these things in this video. So let's get started. This is the sample resume that we are going to analyze today. This resume has 2 pages. Usually any resume has to be limited to 1.5 pages or 2 pages, but not more than that. These are the various side headings that are presented here: career objective, educational qualifications, technical skills, internships, projects undertaken, achievements, paper presentations, curricular activities, personal traits, personal profile, and declaration. So let us examine all these components in detail. To begin with, you have to write your name at the center of the page in capital letters. After the initials, leave one space. After a full stop, you need to leave a space. Not just full stop, but even if it is a comma or a colon or a semicolon, after every punctuation mark, you need to leave one space. And these are the details that you can provide: mobile number and email ID. Mobile number N should be capital over here, and email ID, after email ID some space is wasted. Immediately after D you need to put a colon, and then after the colon you need to leave one space. After punctuation mark you need to leave the space, remember this. And this is your mail ID. Sometimes if you don't want to mention these side headings, mobile number and email ID, you can omit them. Even if you have some professional networking IDs also, like LinkedIn or say your blogs, etc., you can include them over here. All the details can be included in the first section. This is very important because if the employers want to contact you, they will just see your name, email ID, mobile number, and this is like a ready reference for them. Now we will look at the career objective also. This objective is also important. Without career objective, your resume is incomplete. See here, objective O should be capital. Objective, both the words are important. And for career objective, you need to think what your objective is. What do you want to achieve through your career? What are the skills that you are going to make use of when you work for an organization, and is that organization looking for the same skills that you possess? So in this career objective you can also mention some of your technical skills, coding skills, HTML programming and others, which will help them to understand your core competence. And this career objective should be on your own. After thinking a lot about what you want, you need to draft it, and you shouldn't copy paste the career objective from elsewhere. Now coming to educational qualifications, here just see the title Q. Q should be capital. You can also use other titles like academic track record or academic skill set, etc. You can make use of different kinds of side heading. And this is one way of representing the educational qualifications, that is in tabular format. Another way is to just bullet the points. So the interviewers, when you just write it in this tabular format, they would know what is the name of the course, how much percentage you got, where did you study, and which year you passed out, etc. And in the order of preference, like the latest degree should come first, and then the next degree and the 10th standard degree. Right? So this is the way you will write your educational qualifications. If you feel that this tabular format is rudimentary and fundamental in style, if you feel that it has to look more professional, you can go for bulleted points and write all the details like the degree and the college and the percentage by placing comma comma in between. Okay, so when you write this here, observe N should be capital, capital B, capital T, right? MPC capital, CBSE 10th. You need to write 10th CBSE, and then here some space is wasted. Just look at that space, right? And here also some space is wasted. So all the content words, the main words should be starting with a capital letter. See, Jawaharlal Nehru, J capital, N capital, technological, T capital, university, U capital, Hyderabad, board, B capital, intermediate education. So all the content words, Brahma Prakash, B capital, P capital, the contents word content words should be capitalized. This has to be remembered. The next aspect is technical skills. What are the technical skills that you possess? Again, S capital, because both these words are important. Switching theory and logic design, microprocessors and microcontrollers, VLSI design, programming languages, multisim and MATLAB software. So these are the various technical skills that you possess. Whatever skills you possess, you have to write beside educational qualifications. These are the skills that you possess. So first you will mention the educational qualifications and then below that technical skills. Then we will talk about the internships. You already have done many internships, right? So you can put a side heading internship. If only one internship, you can put internship. If it is more than one, you can just write S over here, internships. And there is a particular format also in mentioning all these internships: job title, company name, key achievements. See, these are the main things. People would know that you have worked for a company as a trainee, right? And then the company name is company's name. Don't say company name, but say company's name. Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited, Bengaluru. And the key achievements. After doing this internship, what did you gain? So you can just give a description, and the alignment over here is not justified. You can go for justified alignment. You have left alignment, right alignment and justified alignment, right? So go for justified alignment over here and just describe what are the achievements after doing that project. This program has changed my way of looking into things. Since then, I have started visualizing the concepts practically and how they can be applied in real life situations. See here, whatever you write over here, the sentence which you write, it has to be grammatically correct, right? And after this full stop here, one space is needed here. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. And if it is only one internship, this much information is needed. If it is two internships, you can just put one. And the second one you can put side heading 2 like this, and then job title, company's name and key achievements. Or instead of saying company's name, you can also say name of the company. That is more appropriate. The next side heading is projects undertaken. Again, U capital here. If you have technical projects and non-technical projects, you can also give a separate side heading technical projects. And if you have too many non-technical projects also, you can give a separate side heading non-technical projects. But if the total number of projects are less, you can just say projects or simply projects undertaken. Here you have the title of the project, team size and role. When you write team size, S also can be capital, right? So title is automatic irrigation system. Here she has used capital letters. You can also use lowercase letters, but if you are using capital letters over here for the title, if for all the other projects also, you need to use the capital letters only for the title. So you should maintain uniformity. See here you have used lowercase letters. So it's better if you use lowercase here also, because that uniformity can be maintained, and you will forget that in the next project you will have to use capital letters. Okay. So the role of that person was project leader. And description. What is that project all about? Here is the description of that project. The main aspect of your project. Here also the sentence should be grammatically correct. There should not be any error. So this is an irrigation system which doesn't require any manual operation. Rather, the system gets on and off according to the water level in the soil by using ICs like 555 timers, hex inverter and relay. So this sentence also has to be clear enough. Coming to the achievement section, this is very much important, because when you give your introduction also, like tell me about yourself, you will also highlight your achievements. So put the heading achievements like this, and then bullet the points. Won first prize along with T. Chandana for presenting a paper titled Eye Gaze Communication. So won the first prize. Instead of saying the, won first prize, won second prize, won second prize. Okay, so avoid that the in between. So this is the strategy in this resume, that for all the titles capital letters have been used. So continue using capital letters here also. If you are using lowercase letters, then continue using lowercase, and you can also bold them. Right? These are the achievements. What are the prizes that you have achieved? The awards, cash prize, money, and other things you can mention in the achievements section. The next aspect is paper presentations. This is very much important because you have worked a lot and you have showcased your talent in some competitions, right? Or in seminars. See, again here P should be capital letter. Presented a paper on. So you can just put the side heading like this, presented a paper on, and bullet the points. The title again is in capitals over here, conducted at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technology, Hyderabad in February 2015. This is the format that you need to follow. See here, where did you attend it? At Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technology. Where is this located? Hyderabad. And then in which month and which year you have presented? February 2015. If you know the exact date, on 14th February 2015, that can also be written. But if you don't know the date, simply you can say in February 2015. Right? The same format has to be followed for the other 3 points. And here justify, use that justified option, alignment option. Okay, so artificial retina through film transistors conducted at MVSR. Again, some space has been wasted over here. Check for the spacing. Edit your resume twice or thrice, and space after every punctuation mark. This is about paper presentations. Now let us talk about curricular activities. You have co-curricular activities and extracurricular activities. Co-curricular are related to your academics, like literary competitions or essay writing competition or whatever, right? Something that is related to your academics, participating in a robotics workshop and then designing a robo, all these come under co-curricular activities. Whereas extracurricular are those which are there for your entertainment, like sports and cultural fests and other things, right? So if you have too many achievements in curricular activities, co-curricular, put a separate side heading co-curricular. And if you have too many activities in extracurricular also, you can put a separate side heading. But here if you have very less achievements, you can just put the heading curricular activities, which could include co-curricular or extracurricular activities, right? So these are the activities that you have done. Rendered my duty as IEEE coordinator, IEEE capital, GNITS, all in capitals because it is an abbreviation, during 2014-15. Took active participation in organizing Literary Fest as a coordinator in 2015. A member of Persona. This is also a club, right? An organization aimed for personality development in GNITS. So participated in singing competition conducted by Alacrity. So here again unnecessarily these quotations have come. Where you have used capital letters, so why again you have used double quotes? Not necessary. So that maintain that uniformity. This is about curricular activities. Coming to personal traits or the strengths, you can also mention it as strengths or personal traits. I am a diligent and self-determined person. This girl has started using only the sentences like I am, I have, I get, I have. So if you are starting in this pattern, let the strengths be in this pattern. If you want to just mention the strengths like diligent and self-determined, you can also write that. Good presentation skills, then good adaptability and leadership skills. So if you want to mention only nouns, you can also mention only nouns. If you want to mention it in the form of a statement, you can also mention, but all the four should be in the same format, right? I am a diligent and self-determined person. I have good presentation skills. I get easily adapted to any kind of environment. I have the ability of leading a team. So this looks very neat and you are trying to highlight your skills. You are trying to be very personal also when you are mentioning I am a diligent, like the touch, human touch would be there when you mention about this. You can also mention as noun forms and even adjective forms or adjective plus noun form, but throughout the strengths you have to follow the same format. So this is about personality traits. Now let us look at the personal profile. Already you have mentioned your name, date of birth, etc. So you are not mentioning your name again. And I think you can start with your date of birth. Date of birth, D capital, of lowercase o, and birth, B capital, and then write your date of birth, father's name. Some interviewers ask you, you have mentioned only your father's name, why not your mother's name? So if you are mentioning father's name, mention mother's name also. And these are the languages known to you. See, K lowercase, it has been typed as lowercase, so write capital K. Languages known, these are the languages. Sometimes you can also include nationality, religion, etc. Usually they mention in the personal profile. And you can also mention your hobbies and interests. These are very important because these days interviewers also would want to know what kind of person you are, what are your hobbies and interests. Maybe after languages you could include hobbies. And address, this is the address, door number and the name of that house or the flat, and then area, street, and the place. So here, Elegant Embassy, E capital, E capital here. So it is the name of that building or flat or whatever. So this should be taken care of. And this is the declaration part. So usually in the declaration you would say that all the details that have been furnished above are best to my knowledge and belief. I hereby declare that all the information furnished above is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. And after I don't think a comma is necessary. And below that you also have to mention the place and date. So here, place, you need not put the side heading place. Directly you can start from the extreme left, Hyderabad, and below that you can write the date. And opposite Hyderabad means over here you need to put your signature, and opposite date you have to write this name in capitals down. Okay, so no need for side heading place over here, and no need for side heading date over here. And opposite Hyderabad, your signature is needed when you submit the resume by hand, means when you are attending a campus placement, your signature is needed. This is the information that you are providing. And remember that in resumes always you have to provide the correct information, genuine and authentic information, and you will only be responsible if you provide some wrong information, and they would also hold you responsible for that, right? So signature, and below that your name in capitals. So this is how the resume has to be drafted, with lot of care and attention, keeping an eye on punctuation, spelling errors, sentence constructions, indentation, spacing, and all these aspects. Hope this video was useful to you. Thank you for watching.